Have you ever really wondered what it's like to be a junior analyst at a big investment bank? I mean, beyond what you see in the movies. Well, we're going to pull back the curtain and walk through a real deal, hour-by-hour schedule to see what one of the most demanding jobs on the planet actually looks like.
And this quote right here, it absolutely nails it. This is the central idea that drives everything. It is a relentless sprint. We're not talking about a 9-to-5 schedule. This is a race against urgent deals and deadlines that, well, they just never sleep.
All right, so let's get into it. What does a 19-hour day actually look like on the ground? The whole thing is broken down into these distinct, super high-pressure phases. Let's start right at the beginning. Now, for most of us, the workday starts when we get to the office. But for an analyst, nope. The day starts the second they open their eyes, because the work from last night is already piling up. Okay, so picture this. It's 7 a.m., your alarm goes off. But before you even think about coffee, you're grabbing your phone. Your inbox is already loaded with edits. They call them markups, from senior bankers. So you're literally making critical changes to presentations before you're even out of bed. By the time you get to the office and finally grab that coffee, it's straight into a huddle with your manager, the associate, to figure out the priorities for the day. And that brings us to this key piece of lingo, turning comments. You have to understand, this isn't just fixing a few typos. This is a high-speed, high-stakes process. It's about getting every single slide, every number, absolutely perfect, because the senior banker probably has a client meeting in less than an hour. All right, so once those morning fires are put out, the day shifts into what you could call the core grind. This part of the day is all about actually doing the work, while juggling a constant stream of meetings and feedback.
The day is just this constant churn, right? The morning might be back-to-back calls for a live deal, where your only job is to take flawless notes. Then, it's straight back to your desk to start building slides or running numbers in a model. And lunch, yeah, that's almost always at your desk while you're still working. Then the afternoon hits, and your work starts getting reviewed by vice presidents, who give you this higher-level feedback that often means, you guessed it, a ton of new work. And all that feedback creates this constant loop, the review cycle. It's kind of like an assembly line. First, the analyst builds the initial version. Then, the associate checks it for any mistakes. After that, the VP gives these big-picture strategic notes. And finally, it all comes crashing back down on the analyst's desk to put all those changes in. This cycle, it just repeats all day long. So, just when you think you finally have a handle on your day, you know what you need to get done by midnight, you enter the most unpredictable and honestly the most stressful part of the day.
Yep, this 2-hour window right here, this is the danger zone. This is the time when a totally manageable day can instantly, in the blink of an eye, turn into an all-nighter. All it takes is a single email.
And why is it so dangerous? Because this is when a senior banker might land a new client or get an urgent request, and suddenly, bam, a brand new project gets assigned. And this new staffing immediately jumps to the top of the priority list, completely blowing up all your plans and pretty much guaranteeing a very, very late night. As dinner arrives at the office and the evening really gets going, the whole nature of the work completely changes. The markets are closed, the clients have stopped calling, and now the real, focused production can finally begin. You know, it's really helpful to think of the day in two different phases. The daytime is totally reactive. It's all about communication, meetings, putting out fires. But the night shift, that is for deep, uninterrupted work. This is when the heavy lifting, the intense financial modeling, building presentations from scratch, actually gets done. So what does this deep work actually involve? Well, we're talking about building out entire sections of a pitch book from nothing, or maybe doing incredibly deep research on an industry, or perfecting a critical deal document. These are tasks that need hours of pure, unbroken focus to get right. And the stakes are just unbelievably high. Even at 1 in the morning, after you've been working for 15 hours straight, there is literally zero room for error. A single misplaced decimal can blow up an entire model. One logo that's slightly misaligned can get you into trouble. Perfection isn't just a goal, it's the only acceptable standard. Okay, so after hours and hours of grinding, producing, and refining, we finally get to the end of the marathon. It's time to submit the work and just maybe get to go home. So the evening usually kicks off with a team dinner ordered into the office around 7. By 11 p.m., you send your work up for its final review. But you're not done yet, oh no. There is almost always one last round of edits that comes back down, pushing that finish line well into the early morning hours. And yeah, 2 a.m., that's often a standard departure time. Not for a special occasion, just a Tuesday. You finally submit the files, call a car to go home, and know you've only got a handful of hours before that alarm clock goes off and the race starts all over again.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? This isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily cycle. The clock just resets every single morning. It's a lifestyle that demands this unbelievable level of endurance and absolute precision, which leaves you with one simple question. Could you run this race?